Hello there. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this channel. So we're doing an episode of next week now. This is episode number 28, covering July 12th to 18th. Most of you know that this is just talking about the channel episodes for the week. It's going to come out at its normal time period between 12 and 2 p.m. I hope that you will enjoy the episodes for this week. The starting episode for this week is new Prog albums. This was, we're going to do the Legacy Pilots Camera Obscura number 2, which was released May the 1st. I was going to do that last Sunday, but last Sunday was away the whole day and I never got to it. So we're going to do it this week, and that will be Sunday at 8 p.m. Next up is look back at a classic rock album. The album that we're going to do for this week was one that I originally had decided not to do it when it was in my playlist because I didn't think it was great. But then when I started listening to all these albums for my coming ranking of Green Slate, I decided that it's much better than I originally thought. And it's this album here, the second album at the bottom here on this 2-4. It's called Time and Tide. Kind of an interesting album cover. Kind of looks like Roger Dean, but it isn't. It's a artist who used the caricatures for the Roger Dean stuff, but doesn't really look like. When you examine it closely, you can see it's clearly not Roger Dean. But anyways, that will be the album we're going to do for Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. That will come out Tuesday at 8. Next up is Wednesday night favorites. So last week we did the top 25 favorite albums celebrating 50 years in rock, which up till 2026. This one is going to be the top 25 favorite albums celebrating 40 years in rock up to and including 2026. So I'm going to do my 25 that are 40 years old. The last one was really difficult. I had to cut out a huge swath of albums that I like a lot, but there's just only room for 25, so they had it to go off the list. But still, just a fantastic year for the 50-year anniversary. I'm thinking thinking that 40 years, maybe not quite as good, but there's still going to be a fair number of great albums here. And so we're going to do that Wednesday at 8 p.m. for favorites. Next up is going to be Who Did It Better? This episode, we are going to do the song. Well, actually, we're not going to tell you. We'll let you see when you get here. But it will be covered by two bands, Led Zeppelin and Hawkwind. So I hope that you will find it interesting enough to come and see the experience. That will come out at Friday at 8 p.m. Next up is, of course, the next week's version of this show, which is next week's number 29 episode covering July 19th, the 25th, Saturday at noon to 2 and around there. And the next series up will be the mini-series that we've been doing so far, Monsters of the 70s. Today I'm going to do, after this episode, we're going to do the Rush one. And next week we're going to cover the Eagles. So the Eagles for Monsters of the 70s will be the featured band for next Saturday at 4 p.m. And the final episode of the week, the final regular episode of the week, which is What's New, Deep Purple. We got it here today. This is the band. This is the album. I got it yesterday when I was downtown. Deep Purple's new album, Splat, which we will be reviewing this Saturday on What's New at Saturday at 8 p.m., basically. So that's it for the regular shows for the week. In addition, we also have the series that we're running for the month of July, which is 31 rock bands that are related or connected in some way. We are going to continue with another 7 bands throughout this week. Seems to gain a little bit of interest because it's a little different than most of the kind of series that I run. I thought I would do something a little bit more in depth and a little bit different And so I think it's doing okay. I've got all 7 of my bands ready to go for the week. So I hope to see you for that series continuing. And for those people who like to put out their own, I think they're looking forward to it as well. So the only other things to discuss are next month's monthly series, which I am going to go with a particular year. I believe it was 1975, but don't quote me on that one yet. It might have been 73, although I think I did 73. But we're going to do a year for the month of August. I haven't done one of these for a while, maybe like 5 or 6 months. So I'm going to do another one just because there's a few more years I'd like to get in there. And this is one of them. It's been waiting its turn. It's not overly complex, but we'll give it, ranking them from the top to bottom again. So 31 albums that came out in I think it was 75. So we're going to go with that. And then the only other thing to talk about is there will be another mini series. I did one last week that went Monday to Friday. I think it was well received. Basically just bands that sound like other bands. This next one is going to be an artist, and a particular artist, and it's his 5 of his best albums. And I have a couple of people in mind for this, actually 4 of them in mind. So I may do a series for each of them, or I may just do the one, depending on whether people are interested or not. So that series will involve Neil Young, former Canadian, now American rock star. I'm going to pick 5 albums by him that I think are his 5 best. And we're going to talk about each of those albums in a series mode that will run Monday to Friday as well. I don't know when I'm going to do this series. It'll depend on how much stuff I have still to do for some of the other stuff. If I'm able to do it, I usually like to do this series all in one day and then set them up to come out so that I find it breeds more continuity. If I do one each day, then I forgot what I said the day before, and I'd like to breed some continuity in the series. So that will be maybe next week, maybe the week after. Depends on what's happening at that point. So that is it for the updates for next week for episode number 28. I hope to see you all throughout the week. Have yourself a good day and a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.